What is going on, Dodgers fans? Thank you for listening to another episode of the Incline Dodgers podcast. This is Kevin Klein here. Hope you're all doing well out there. I'm going to start the show off with one of the biggest what ifs in my life. And Jake, what do you think I'm talking about? What could be that what if?
What if the Dodgers don't keep Corey Seager?
No, but that's not something I've been pondering for years.
What if the Dodgers don't keep Clayton Kershaw?
Not going down that road either. The actual answer is, what if the Dodgers had never flipped Andrew Heaney to the Anaheim Angels for Howie Kendrick? How would he have panned out? Well, I guess we're going to figure out that answer this season because it's official. The Dodgers and Andrew Heaney have agreed to a 1-year, $8.5 million deal. The left-handed starting pitcher is 30 years old, coming off a pretty abysmal season with the New York Yankees and Angels, had a 5.83 ERA, 8-9 record, but over 129 and 2/3 innings pitched. He did have 150 strikeouts. And one thing that stood out to me is the expected ERA, a lot better than his actual ERA, a 4.03. You know, the Dodgers are taking a gamble on this guy. They like the spin rate on the fastball and the curveball. They're off the charts. But I'm going to pass this torch over to David Rosenthal to get your thoughts on the addition to the Dodgers starting rotation.
Well, hello, Kevin and Jake, first of all. How are you guys?
Hello, David.
I'm not so sure this is an addition to the starting rotation, honestly. I think this could be a type of David Price role, what they envisioned Danny Duffy doing for them when they acquired Danny Duffy. And I view this as just as an insurance policy. I think they're obviously going to sign or trade for other starting pitchers who are more established and frankly better. So I like the signing. I think it's a little pricey, but apparently he had a lot of suitors, and I think the Dodgers identified some stuff in his mechanics or whatever you want to call it, and say they obviously have a plan, is what I'm trying to say. They have a plan for Andrew Heaney. They aren't just taking the guy who was horrible on the Yankees and being like, yep, good luck. So I think I can at this point trust what the Dodgers are doing. And if I had to guess, I think they're going to want him to throw that slider quite a bit, because the slider is actually pretty damn good.
Jake Reiner, I think he's a starter. What about you?
Yeah, I think so too. I think with what happened in 2021 with the entire pitching rotation just kind of blew up throughout the season, I think they're going to need him to start. And I also think that this is probably Andrew Friedman and company, Mark Pryor and company, Dave Roberts and company. I think this is their biggest reclamation project that they've ever had to go through. This guy's body of work is not impressive at all. But they see something in him. And Andrew Friedman said there is something to tap into here. And I'm going to believe him because of what he's been able to do with a number of other players on this team that we didn't think very much of, and they became household names and superstars. So he sees something in Andrew Heaney. You guys talked about the spin rate. He was in the 90th percentile in fastball spin rate, and he was in the 91st percentile in chase rate. Opponents had a 196 batting average with 40 strikeouts and 4 walks against his curveball. And Kevin already mentioned his 4.03 expected ERA. So that was last year in a year that he went 8-9 with a 5.83 ERA. So they see something in his peripherals that obviously are something that they can work with, and something that Mark Pryor can work with, and Connor McGinnis and all those guys. So yeah, it is a bit of a head scratcher, just because he's never really been consistent. I've never really been impressed by him at any point in his career. But if the Dodgers see something in him, then I'm open-minded about it.
Yeah, and just real quick, you mentioned his curveball. I said slider at the beginning of the show. What I was trying to say is the curveball is really good, but I think they're going to try to turn it more into a slider, which is what we've seen them do with their pitchers day in and day out. I mean, like you can list Phillips, Urias, Trinan, all these guys have transitioned into a type of slider slurve, and I think that's what they're going to do with Heaney.
Yep. And David mentioned there were a lot of teams actually interested in him because they view this guy as the potential next Robbie Ray. So I guess they like David also meant, or
does he not? He doesn't really throw hard enough. Does he to be Robbie Ray?
I mean, that's just a bad comparison.
I
Anyway,
had a follow up question to David. So if his curveball is pretty nasty, why wouldn't you just keep the curveball and just add the slurve as another pitch?
Because clearly something's not working. His 3-pitch repertoire right now is just not really working. I think if you just kind of scrap the curveball and just go fastball slider, the velocity discrepancy is going to be a lot more similar, where it's going to be harder for hitters to decipher what pitch is coming, whereas the curveball is going to be a bit slower. So I think that's the mindset. That's my mindset, and I've seen the Dodgers do that with players before, and I would take a guess that they're going to try that here.
Heaney actually throws 92 to 95 on his fastball, and we've seen it before where if you can tap into that guy's true potential, they can exploit that fastball to be harder than ever beforehand. And Robbie Ray actually had a dip in velocity, and then the Blue Jays were able to essentially turn him around, and that's how he became a Cy Young contender, because he was awful in 2020 with the D-backs, and there was a major dip in velocity. But yeah, Jake mentioned Friedman likes the ingredients, and they're excited to work with him. So we'll see what happens, but the Dodgers need depth in their rotation, and this is definitely the right step forward. And I could see them adding another flyer, but we'll see what happens. This is a good topic. Sam Shearer, 99 on Twitter, wants to know thoughts on the Clayton Kershaw situation. So I'm going to let David start this one off.
My thoughts have been the same for 2.5 years now. I think he's either going to retire or he's going to be a Dodger. They not offering him a qualifying offer was definitely a surprise, but as Andrew Friedman mentioned, they didn't want him to feel pressure to accept it, because you have to accept it within 10 days. They want him to be able to take the time to figure out what he wants to do next. That being said, I'm telling you now, he's not pitching for another team. I'm take it to the bank. He's either retiring on his couch or he's going to come back for the Dodgers. We don't know his health right now. I don't know if he knows his health right now. I think this process is going to carry well into December. But look, a lot of people talk about the Texas Rangers as a possible suitor. They are horrendous. They are a really, really bad baseball team. They are about 5 to 10 free agents away from being even close to competitive. If Clayton Kershaw wants to be closer to his home or spend more time with his family, he would simply retire. He's not going to the Texas Rangers. He's either going to come back to the Dodgers, or the parallels to Sandy Koufax's career are going to be quite similar, and he'll retire.
Yeah, and to that point, I agree with you, David. I think that him going to the Rangers, you mentioned it the other day, that it is very media driven. We've not heard anything from Kershaw himself to suggest that he wants to pitch for the Rangers. And I'll just say this. He got a chance to win a World Series in Texas in 2020. He got a chance to pitch on that mound in his hometown and win a World Series game. I think he won 2. And he pitched pretty much the entire postseason 2020. That's as close as he's going to get to a playoff game in Texas if he ever played for the Rangers. I mean, to me, that just, I don't know if that narrative is actually true. So I'm more inclined to side with you on this, that if he wants to pitch again, he's going to pitch for the Dodgers. They're going to make it work. I think the qualifying offer, not offering him the qualifying offer, is an interesting one, but I wouldn't read too much into it. You mentioned the pressure of him having to respond, but also there's the added pressure of, surrendering a draft pick too, if he signs with another team and he declines the qualifying offer. So there's that aspect as well. And I just think that they kind of gave Kershaw the courtesy to just be like, look, we're not going to make you decide on anything until you're ready. Make a decision on what you want to do. Sort of makes me think that he maybe has hinted at maybe wanting to retire. But if he wants to come back and pitch, Kershaw is a competitor. He's not going to want to go to a team where there's nothing to compete for.
100%. And look, just real quick. Sorry, Kevin. He is 32 or 33 years old. He's not 38 or 39. There's plenty left in the tank if he wants there to be. And financially, I just want to bring this point up. he's not going to ask for $30 million a year. He's just not going to ask it. He knows what the Dodgers not offering the qualifying offer does if he were to leave. He knows that. This is a man who respects the organization, who respects the city, and is going to do right by the Dodgers, just as the Dodgers have done right to him his entire career, financially, off the field, everything. He's made over $330 million on the field, not including endorsements. Contract-wise, I think you're looking at about 15 to 20 million a year for Clayton Kershaw, if he wants it.
I'll start off with this. I'm glad that the Dodgers didn't offer Clayton Kershaw the qualifying offer because, one, I think he earns the right to have the ball completely in his court, let him make up his mind with as much time as needed. Second of all, there's no scenario in the world, if Clayton Kershaw is healthy, where he's going to take a qualifying offer because he's worth more than that. A qualifying offer is a 1-year, $18 million deal. This guy, like David said, is only 32, has 3 years easily left in the tank. He's going to sign a 3-year deal with the Dodgers or wherever he wants to go if his body is ready. And he will get at least $25 million annually, because you can look at the numbers right here before he went down with the injury. A 3 FIP, that's near the tops in the league. 22 starts, 144 strikeouts, over 122 innings pitched. That is still number one material on most teams in Major League Baseball. I think there's like this weird notion out there that he's a shell of his former self. He's not. He is still a top 10 starter when healthy. And whether it's the Dodgers or another team out there in Major League Baseball, they recognize the talent. They understand the importance he brings to a clubhouse and the pitching staff, and he draws a lot of fans. This isn't some washed up player coming to your team like a David Freese hoping, or Albert Pujols hoping they can win over the clubhouse with their expertise. This is still a competitor out there and a number one, number two on most teams.
You're absolutely right, Kevin, but you said when healthy. And the thing is, he didn't end the season healthy. And the only way to prove you're healthy is by doing it on the field for an extended period of time. And he didn't do that towards the end of this year. And that's why he's not going to get $25 or $30 million a year. He's just not, from the Dodgers. And he's not going to ask for it. I'm telling you, man, I'm vehemently passionate that he is not going to get $30 million from the Dodgers. 25 would be the absolute most. He can't prove that he's healthy. We don't even know if he's healthy right now. And he's not going to get that. He's going to be in the Charlie Morton range, 15 to 20 million.
Still a lot of off season to go, and who knows where he'll be in 2 months. Just saying.
Well, he's going to be either on the couch or on the Dodgers roster. Do you remember what I said to you on Twitter 2020, Kevin? My promise to you?
Is this regarding Justin Turner, or are you talking about the broccoli?
No, this is regarding this topic.
The broccoli?
Yes. For everyone listening at home, Kevin tweeted on December 7th, 2020, what do you think Clayton Kershaw gets paid in free agency next, and do you think the Dodgers are the highest bidder? And I told him, let me put it this way. If Clayton Kershaw throws one pitch for another team, I will live stream myself eating 5 stalks of uncooked broccoli and a piece of printer paper. So if he goes anywhere else, you will get that from me.
Can we add the Cars for Kid theme song on loop?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? That'll make me go faster.
Good stuff. I don't know if it's official yet, but word is that Chris Taylor and Corey Seager are declining their qualifying offers that the Dodgers handed to them. I think Chris Taylor's in for a big payday. 4 years, $64 million is what I'm expecting him to make. And I think there's already been reports that there's a lot of suitors in on him. Maybe the Dodgers outbid them all and bring him back, but I don't know. This is going to be maybe even tougher than the Corey Seager situation, because there are going to be more teams in on Chris Taylor.
Yeah, I think that one is going to take longer, because I think they're going to have to wait and see where this Corey Seager domino falls, and Carlos Correa domino falls, and then Simeon after that, and Story after that. In my heart tells me that Chris Taylor wants to stay. I think he likes being a Dodger. I think he wants to remain in the organization, and I think he's willing to kind of wait and see what the plans are in terms of what the Dodgers are going to do. So I would expect the first domino to fall to be probably, one of the big shortstops. and then the kind of Chris Taylor guys fall in line after that. That's just my hunch.
Right, because those guys will dictate the market. Like what happens to Corey Seager, what happens to Carlos Correa, Trevor Story, then we can kind of see where the market's at. And one of those guys will have to go first. And then we can kind of measure where that bar is. And then, not a knock against Chris Taylor, but the kind of sort of the second tier free agents, he is in that class. We won't, I agree. I don't think we'll see him go as quickly. It'll be more drawn out than that.
I think Marcus Semien will be the first shortstop infielder scooped off the board.
Where do you think he's gone?
Seattle.
That would be big for them.
That'd be a great fit.
I think the Blue Jays are going to keep either one, Semien or Robbie Ray for sure. But I don't know. I think Correa is going to set the market, honestly. I think he's going to get damn near close to $300 million. And I think Corey Seager is going to be about 20 to 30 to 40 million less than that.
Corey Seager's going to be less?
Yeah. He's a year older, and I think he's going to get less years. The defense is going to hurt him, Kevin. Whether you say it or not, the defense is going to hurt him.
I disagree. I think he has Scott Boras on his side, and that'll win him the biggest contract.
No, there's no way. There's no way he gets more than Correa.
I'm going to save my Corey Seager stuff for at least another week or two because I think we'll get more info in that time, so I don't want to speak prematurely. But I have a whole rant lined up, so stay tuned for that. So let's talk about we'll go to Zimzi because I liked what he said on Twitter to us. No question, just an appreciation that you're not one of the Dodgers poser podcasts who are out there saying they should go out there and sign Carlos Correa. All I can say is there is no scenario out there where Carlos Correa will be a Los Angeles Dodger in this free agent market. You can kiss your lucky stars. You can pray all you want. They're not going to do it. They had too much drama with Trevor Bauer. They're not going to go down this road now with Carlos Correa and potentially disturb and shake up the clubhouse once more. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I even I put it on Twitter a few days ago just to see what the response would be. I knew it was going to be inflammatory, but I just wanted to see where we're at. And where we are at is the majority of the people, this is not a poll, by the way, this is just the majority of the comments that I got, is that people would just absolutely not want Carlos Correa on this team. It would be a weird one in the locker room, just given the comments that were made after the cheating scandal came out with Cody Bellinger and Justin Turner. They had harsh words for one another. Carlos Correa will be, we'll have to explain the facts to them once he gets into the clubhouse. I just don't see this happening, even though it has been kind of reported that the Dodgers may be interested or maybe kicking the tires, who knows, but the Dodgers will kick the tires on anyone, really. That's just their style. And we found out that basically the ownership is told Andrew Friedman, like, go get us a winner, like get us the players that we need to win. So that's what you want to hear. But I honestly don't think that you want to bring in a guy like Carlos Correa that could potentially disrupt this clubhouse. Yeah,
I agree. I don't think it's happening at all. I forget what I said to you under that tweet. I think I said they have an equal chance of signing the corpse of Honus Wagner to play shortstop. Wagner. Yeah. Okay. So I don't think it's happening, but I hate hypocrites, and I would be a hypocrite if I said I wouldn't be okay with Carlos Correa as a Dodger, because what I care about on the Dodgers roster is the team that gives us the best chance to win a World Series. And hate him, love him, whatever, Carlos Correa is a phenomenal baseball player. So look, if it happened, it would be a very sour taste in my mouth, but I would get over it because he would be a very, very, very good baseball player to add to this roster. Would I prefer him over Seager or Semien or any of these guys? No. But at the same time, like I said, I'd be a hypocrite if I said I wouldn't take him.
I'll just say this too. I'm going to root for the Dodgers.
Yeah. 100%.
Plain and simple. No matter what.
I agree. Still a Crawford box merchant in my opinion, but yeah.
Him and Cody Bellinger would have to like kiss and make up, but that's doable.
Got another question from @22 Graybird on Twitter. how do we feel about Walker Buehler getting snubbed for the Cy Young Award, or being snubbed as a Cy Young Award finalist, as well as Dave Roberts not being a finalist for manager of the year?
I think the Dave Roberts one is far more egregious. I mean, the Dodgers won 106 games. They matched their franchise record in wins, and he doesn't get it. He doesn't get consideration over Mike Schilt. I mean, okay, they had like what, a 17, 18 game winning streak.
Unemployed Mike.
But he got
Schilt,
fired, right? Is that exactly? He's no longer the manager of the Cardinals. There's a new manager at the helm. So how the heck was he even in the conversation?
Second straight year that's happened, by the way. Remember Rick Renneria last year, White Sox?
I'm pretty sure the votes were through before he got terminated, but I could be mistaken.
No, I'm sure. Yeah, look. Should he have been considered given the season that they have? Sure, but look at what Dave Roberts did with look at, nobody wants to feel bad for the Dodgers, and I don't blame them, but look at all the injuries they went through. Look at the Bauer catastrophe. That wasn't on Dave Roberts. The dude weathered the storm. He managed his ass off. He kept these guys in line. They won 106 games, and they were one game behind the Giants. Then they took them out in the NLDS. So to me, that is the more egregious snub than Buehler, who had a terrific season, but towards the end kind of faltered. And I think that there are the top three guys that they picked are, deserve to be there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with most of what you said. I'm not too concerned about the Dave Roberts snub because Gabe Kapler won this award, months ago. This award has been done for months. And he deserved it. I mean, I still don't understand how the Giants did what they did. So credit to Gabe Kapler and their cheating lab and whatever you want to call it. But
he was Walker Buehler.
Yeah, and Walker Buehler is gonna finish fourth in the Cy Young. And it's just Scherzer, Wheeler, and Burns. I can't be mad at any of that. They all deserve that. It's it's a loaded field in the NL. And I think if Walker Buehler was in the American League, he would win the Cy Young.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no question.
I think it's funny that Schilt got fired despite the Cardinals being the first team ever to have 5 Gold Glovers on one roster.
Yeah. And they ripped off 17, 18 games in a row and got to the wild card and almost beat the Dodgers.
Yeah. And the Dodgers got no Gold Glove winners. I can't remember the last time that's been a thing.
Adam Duvall also won a Gold Glove.
We knew that was going to happen though before the finalists came out, that the Dodgers were not going to get any Gold Gloves. I mean, maybe Mookie Betts.
I honestly thought Mookie Betts was going to win, but Adam Duvall did not see that coming.
Can I talk about one snub real quick that I am furious about? The all MLB teams, the nominees were released today. They listed 16 relief pitchers you can vote for, and Blake Trinan was not one of them. In what universe? Who is watching these? Are they just not watching the games? It makes literally no sense. You got Aroldis Chapman, who was dog water for the first 3 months of the season. Gallegos was bad for half of the season. You got a couple other dudes who have no business being on this list ahead of Blake Trinan. I mean, Blake Trinan was a top 5 reliever in baseball, including closers. How do you not put him in the top 16 where I can't even vote for him to be on the all MLB team? That is a snub.
Very much so. Was Chapman's on there?
Yeah.
Gallegos?
Well, Chapman's always going to be on there.
Why? He doesn't name recognition?
He's a box score merchant.
He was legit hot dog water for 3 months. He couldn't find the zone, and he blew every damn save that was presented to him.
I don't think he was that bad.
I guarantee you, if you poll all players, they would put Trinan in there.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you got Mark Melancon on here, I think.
He led the National League in saves. So
okay. I mean, great.
Yeah, Chapman was an all-star for what it's worth. Probably not much, but
Jake McGee. Come on.
Yeah, that one's kind of weird. Was Justin Turner nominated for second base?
He was third though.
Was Jansen was on there?
Yeah, Kenley's on there.
Well, that's good at least.
All right, cool. Well, yeah. So that covers pretty much the most recent Dodger news. Is there anything else you guys wanted to cover real quick before we close this one out?
Yeah, I just want to get through a couple of miscellaneous notes here. Andrew Friedman said that he doesn't expect Mookie Betts to require surgery or procedure for his hip. So that's good news for him. The entire Dodgers coaching staff is expected to return next year. Dustin May could return as soon as after the All-Star break or August. He has begun his throwing program, which is terrific news. But I do want to get your guys' thoughts on this last one. We kind of touched on Dave Roberts being snubbed for a finalist or manager of the year, but this is his final year of his contract. Friedman did not really want to get into Dave Roberts' contract extensions. In fact, none of those discussions have even begun yet because there are more priorities that are more pressing in terms of the roster right now. But what do you guys think about Dave Robertson possibly getting an extension?
He ain't going anywhere. That's my thoughts. He's not leaving.
They'll give him a 3 or 4 year extension.
Yeah.
Inevitably.
Do you think
100%.
it comes during the season though?
I think it comes after the CBA madness is figured out.
Before opening day, after free agency.
Before opening day. Okay. Yeah, those are my thoughts too. I don't think he'll go anywhere. I know that fire Dave Roberts was trending after they got eliminated from the playoffs, but that's just,
like who is available to replace him?
Mike Schultz.
Yeah, Mike Schultz.
Manager of the year finalist, Mike Schultz.
Yeah. What's
Rick Renneria, also 2020 Manager of the Year finalist.
What's Ozzie Guillen up to?
He interviewed for the Padres job. Ozzie Guillen.
Jace Tingler got a job already.
Yep.
Where is he?
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Bench coach.
See you later.
Leader of men, Jace Tingler.
Let me just read off the MLB or the all MLB team, since people are probably wondering who the actual nominees were from the Dodgers. Will Smith, catcher. Max Muncy, first. 2 shortstops, Seager and Trey Turner. Justin Turner, third. Mookie Betts, outfielder. Starting pitchers, Walker Buehler, Julio Urias, and Max Scherzer. And 1 reliever, Kenley Jansen.
AJ Pollock kind of got snubbed there.
Yeah, he had a terrific year.
I mean, yeah, I think he had a better. Kike Hernandez got on there, and look at the stats. I mean, there's no way Kike Hernandez deserves that over AJ Pollock. I'm blown away that Kike Hernandez is even on there right now.
That's MLB for you. They don't always get it right.
Seldom.
I mean, Pollock obviously wouldn't win, but he deserved to be on there ahead of Kike Hernandez.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to announce the first annual The Incline Awards. And so when you look below in the description or you find us on social media, we're going to retweet it. We'll share it everywhere. But we need your votes out there, people. There's going to be at least 14, 15 categories of just all types of Dodgers moments, players, you name it. We got the most Dave moment. We've got team MVP. We got best blooper, just an array of categories. And we're going to announce the awards the week of Thanksgiving. So stay tuned for that. Should be some good stuff. I'm sure David and Jake are very excited. Can't wait to see their reaction to what you, the people out there, vote.
Are we going to read them off right now?
No, we're not going to read it off this go around, but maybe next week. But we will share it. And we're going to try to encourage everyone to go out there and vote like they want you to do every November.
My awards that I added to this list that I'm proud of are Stupid Bastard of the Year. So please vote in that one. Gargantuan Nutsack Performance of the Year, which is a year-round award, not one individual performance. And what was my third one? Did I have a third one?
I don't know, but I added the Gerardo Parra Dodger Killer Award.
Yeah, that was
it could have been Parra, could have been Posey, could have been Goldschmidt, could have been Cole Calhoun for all we know. But I picked Gerardo Parra.
I remember my third one, except I don't think this got added because it was just a award that I'm giving out. I'm just going to give it out now, despite Kevin's earlier comment. Neck Tattoo Performance of the Year goes to Dennis Santana. He pulled a rabbit out of the hat in that San Diego Padres game in the 9th inning with the bases loaded. So congratulations, Dennis Santana. Neck Tattoo Performance of the Year. stealing it from Victor Gonzalez, who was pretty MIA this year.
Wasn't that the same game as the Mookie catch?
Maybe. That feels like forever ago.
Yeah, that was off. That Victor Gonzalez was pitching during that moment.
Okay, well, didn't the Mookie catch end that game?
Yeah.
Well, no, I thought Dennis Santana was that an extra inning game?
Yeah.
Okay,
I believe so.
Dennis Santana, I thought pitched the 9th of that game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, congrats, Dennis Santana. I will mail your award to you in Texas or wherever the hell you are now.
Oh, good old Dennis Santana. Can't believe he was a Dodger for like 4 or 5 years.
I kind of like this stuff. He just couldn't put it all together, honestly.
I saw the potential, just couldn't do it.
Yeah. You know who else they thought had potential? Scott Alexander. And what happened to Scott Alexander? Like I said a week ago, they let him go. He's off the 40-man roster and off the team. He is now a free agent. He will probably sign a minor league deal somewhere. I'm going to guess it's somewhere sad like the Arizona Diamondbacks because that organization is a real hot mess right now.
You can join Uceta.
Yeah, that's a good point. Edwin Uceta is a D-back. So let's go with something off the wall to close the show out. Give me just one free agent and not a big name, just one average Joe to bench role player that you would like to see the Dodgers, or go bullpen too, that you would like to see the Dodgers target in the offseason.
Oh, man. Average Joe, huh?
I don't
Do you
want
have
a
one in mind?
superstar. Just any role player, whether it's a pitcher or a bench player or maybe a starter, but they're not a superstar.
I could get on board with Eduardo Escobar off the bench.
There you go. I didn't even know he was a free agent.
I'm pretty sure he is. I'll check that while Jake gives his, though.
Don't you guys think of this stuff?
Go ahead, Kevin. I didn't know this was going to be a question.
Well, you should think about it when the free agent list comes out. There's like 200 guys. I think a nice addition for the Dodgers would be Andrew McCutchen, former superstar, not so much anymore, but I think he'd be the perfect addition to this Dodgers platoon potentially. Crushes lefties, had a 1,000 OPS still against lefties in 2021, finished the year with 27 home runs. I think he provides that veteran leadership in the clubhouse as well. I don't think Albert Pujols is coming back, so you could replace him with McCutchen, who's had a lot of experience, has won an MVP. Definitely, I think a World Series is something that he would like to finish his career off with. So the Dodgers would be a perfect fit for him. And especially if the DH comes, then you can actually fit his bat in the lineup on maybe a regular basis. So that's where I have my eyes set right now. Andrew McCutchen.
All right. Give me Eddie Rosario.
I feel like he's going to get paid now, though.
Yeah, but I want him. If you can't beat him, join him. You know what I'm saying?
Sign him.
Let's sign him away so he never beats us again.
One other name, I want a pitcher, Zach Davies.
Ugh.
Is he phenomenal? No. Is he good? Maybe. Is he great? No. But can he eat innings? Yes.
I'd like to see a Zach Greinke reunion too.
I wouldn't, man.
Why not?
He's just not that good anymore. He's just not. He throws. What does he hit? 85 tops.
I don't care. He
gets by.
He can still get it done, and we need someone who can stay healthy and eat innings. That's what we need.
He can't really eat innings anymore, though. Dusty Baker wouldn't even let him go more than 4 or 5 innings in the playoffs.
Well, that's because he had a neck strain or something at the end of the year, and he wasn't.
So he can't stay healthy, is what you're saying.
What about like John Gray or like
John Gray is going to get paid. I would love that though. But I think John Gray is going to get close to 15-20 million.
Or Yusei Kikuchi.
Intriguing to me as well.
Yeah.
He reeks. Look at his stats. He has like a career ERA of almost 5.
He kind of put it together a bit this year though. He had a good first half. Well, wasn't he an all-star?
Well, it's the Mariners.
Was he their only all-star?
I believe so.
Okay.
They had no pitching. Marco Gonzalez was supposed to be that guy. He wasn't that guy in the first half. But yes.
You know who I don't want is Marcus Stroman. Don't want
Yeah.
Marcus Stroman. No thanks. Pass.
Yeah, I'm on the Stroman is definitely overrated crowd,
Yep.
but he will also get paid. And
Which is another reason why I don't want him. Let someone else pay him. I think he's destined to be a Giant.
a Giant.
They have one starting pitcher right now. One.
There are some interesting relievers out there. I'm not sure how costly they're going to be. Like Kendall Graveman's out there, and
That would be great.
Brooks Raley is out there. He's kind of decent. Kevin's favorite pitcher of all time, Chris Martin.
Yeah, Kendall Graveman is someone that I've wanted the Dodgers to go after for at least a year now. Don't think that'll happen. He'll probably get a Blake Trinan-like contract. Just bring back Knebel. That's all I ask. Bring back Corey Knebel.
I'd love to have Knebel.
I think he'll want to stay too. I think he likes being a Dodger. I got that vibe from him.
All right. I think this is a good time to hang up the phone. Everyone, thank you for listening to the Incline Dodgers. We really need your help. And by doing so, just give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcast. We want to try to climb our way up the charts because then that means we'll get more downloads, thus meaning more ad revenue money. And it helps us go a long way so that we can continue to pump out awesome content, find more awesome exclusive guests to bring you guys, and make that the awesome experience that is the Incline. So until next time, hopefully some action goes down over the next coming week, and you'll hear directly from us. We'll break it all down because we love talking Dodgers, whether it's wins, losses, or just what the F just happened here. But until then, have a good one.